Do you have any recollection or knowledge of when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California? Mm-hmm. Was it like, did people in California, was that like I don't know. Was he good?
Yeah, like surprisingly, from what I understand, the people weren't expecting it.
How did your parents feel about it? Were they like?
I remember my dad kind of being like, "Huh," because he had met him. My dad used to work at Universal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's that Back to the Future joke.
Yeah.
Who's the president?
Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like, I really, I was too young to really.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm really curious. Like, I forget exactly what spawned this. I think it was just kind of I think the reality of Arnold Schwarzenegger becoming the governor of a state was kind of just like, wait, that really happened.
Well, it wasn't Jesse Ventura
of Minnesota.
Was it Minnesota? I thought it was.
I want to say it was Minnesota.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
professional. He was in Predators too.
Yeah,
or Predators.
Oh wow,
I never put that together.
Neither did I actually.
That's weird that we didn't put that together.
I think I have at some point in my life made a joke about that while watching Predator, but I
didn't. Yeah, recycled. Yeah, I don't know. That's so weird. Having this.
Do we remember the years that he was governor?
No, but
you don't have to really look it up.
Oh, well, I want to know.
Okay. I want to say it was like 2000 something to.
Began in 2003.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was in high school.
He was a Republican. 2003, 2006.
He married into the Kennedys, didn't he?
Yeah. Governorship of Arnold Schwarzenegger started November 17th, 2004 and went to January 3rd, 2011.
Wow, okay.
Long run.
I think he like held for a couple of terms or something.
So I mean, I guess he did okay then, right?
People are like, sure, why not?
Yeah. The governor of California. How come everyone in the world can do an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Arnold Schwarzenegger can't do an impression of someone that can say California? It's a Jim Gaffigan bit. Golly, this is so hard.
This is so hard. All right, let's go into this. You all right?
I'm just like, clap before the big scary monster eats us. I'm still scared of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Pew, 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 pew. Democracy.
You just get sound bits to throw in there. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going? Welcome back to TJ's Mixtape, or if this is your first time, generally speaking, we do movie reviews. But
I realize how close this microphone's to my eyeball.
But this week we decided to take a little break from the movies, and we're going to talk about some video games and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're going to start off with, so a few weeks ago we released the 2 episodes reviewing the
Planet of the Apes
franchise in the sense of the original first one, and then the Tim Burton remake. And so because of the new one, Kingdom.
Yeah, Kingdom just came out. Quick, we're just going to give a quick little our feelings on it because we both really like this new reboot. Franchise.
Yeah.
Well, now we definitely have. There's the Caesar arc, and now we're gonna have this new Noah arc.
I didn't care for it.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I didn't really think about the fact that we were going into outside of Caesar's story. Like I thought it would maybe like follow more like Caesar's lineage type thing. Like,
that's what I
like his
son
or something like that. But it was definitely a remake of Planet of the Apes.
It was very
like
it's like if they want to use this kingdom as a bouncing off point, like a base launch for like another continuation of the franchise, cool. But which they're probably gonna
do, yeah.
But as of right now, I'd probably just watch the first 3 and I can skip this one. It's like I'm gonna watch this one again when the new one's coming out. Basically,
it's interesting because like I will say like critically and like the way that the story, everything about how it's like slayed out, it is a really good movie. Like
yeah,
you know, especially like but it's also kind of, you need this like knowledge of Caesar's arc, because spoiler alert, if you guys, I'm just gonna say it right now because the beginning of it is kind of a moment that they didn't put into the stuff. So if you don't want to fast forward like 5 minutes, you don't want to hear us talk about this. The opening of Caesar's funeral.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, I was like, what are you spoiling about this movie? Oh, you're talking about the okay.
Yeah,
it's been long enough, I think.
It's right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I said spoiler. Fast forward if you want to. It symbolizes and sets up the entire movie, because where not only is it like the end of the Caesar era, but him being like burned away, it's like his legacy. Like then we get into the movie and you see that his like Christ-like side of him, you know, like all the apes that were like his like what's the word I'm looking for? Like not preach, but like his sermon or whatever,
congregation,
his belief or what have you, has slowly faded and become bastardized over the mini
game of telephone, you know.
Yeah,
it's changed and they used it further. I guess my big takeaway, I just found, to be honest, I found it kind of generic action movie.
It did eventually kind of turn into that, yeah.
You know, and I was just like, okay.
It didn't have the same like levity of like commentary of like human and ape and like what the first 3 have.
Yeah, and I personally just didn't feel any kind of connection to any of the apes like I did in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Even the ones you met very briefly. Like in the first one, you meet Maurice, and Maurice has very little amount of time, but I was very interested in what they were going to do. And then he ended up becoming a more prominent character. Yeah. But I just didn't. There wasn't really any of them that I felt really connected to, like with the other 3.
Yeah, no, totally. You know, like also, side note, when we were talking about Maurice and I said her, I realized why I thought,
because the actor,
the motion cap actress is an actress.
Because after your time I was sitting there, I was thinking,
I know, it's like, I was like, they're like, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because orangutans, only male orangutans have the cheeks.
I was like, it looks like a boy.
Yeah.
Ape. But yeah, like even, you know, Bad Ape and all those characters, you just really feel, you know, even
Koba,
Rocket,
you know,
like that's the thing is we can name all of them. I can't remember any of the names.
I only remember Noah, the lead one.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, but I mean, all in all, like I said, I think it's a cool branching off point. So we'll see where it goes with the franchise now, and is it going to stick with these guys, or is it going to keep jumping? Or now, and are we going to continue?
I think it's going to stick with Noah.
The kingdom underneath the planet of the apes.
You know, I actually went through, since I've never seen the full of the original stuff. It gets fucking weird.
Yeah, we knew that from start off weird.
Well, no, actually, I read the synopsis of each one, and like in Beneath, which is the second one, they go underground and they find like this like mutated human society that's trying to blow up the planet. They worship a nuclear bomb.
Fallout, cool.
Yeah. And then
Children of Adam.
I can't remember the names of the 2 lead apes from the original, but they have a son named Caesar, who then Caesar becomes the leader in the last 3 movies to revolt against the humans, because they then travel back in time to human society, like regular society, and then the apes start to evolve from there. It gets fucking. It actually, like, a lot of, like, Rise and...
it sounds like
it. A lot of Rise and kind of War is in those last 3 movies.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's... we went and saw it. We just wanted to say that... I mean, I enjoyed it. I definitely... I guess we didn't really need to see it in the theaters, but we wanted to.
It was cool to see in theaters.
Yeah.
It's a very big piece, you know.
If you were to give it an arbitrary rating, what would you give it? 3, 5?
3.
3?
A low 3. I just, I don't know. It's kind of the same way I felt about Avatar.
I still haven't seen Avatar.
Which blows my mind.
I just have no interest.
I know, but just by accident. Like...
Yeah, it's like on TV or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen clips of it because of being on TV and whatnot, but I've never... It's also like 3 hours long.
It's really long.
It's going to be like 6 hours with commercials.
I couldn't sit through the second one. I couldn't...
You didn't get sick?
I couldn't bring myself.
You didn't die in the movie theater? Didn't somebody have a heart attack?
I don't know.
Because it was like so visually like crazy. Someone had a heart attack or something.
Wow.
Talk about a piece of art.
Yeah, for real. Jeez.
All right. That was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Should we do like a...
We don't have to. I mean, we can. I can. Or, haha! All right. Video games.
Okay. So, welcome back again. I don't know what we're doing. We kind of discussed going through a backlog a little bit.
Yeah.
And the idea partly came from the fact that the Fallout series came out, and then Bethesda then did this big facelift update for the fourth Fallout, Fallout 4. And that kind of spurred me. So I basically, long story short, I went back and played it and was like, oh, this is really fun. It's really fun to revisit this thing that I fell off of really hard.
And like any other video gamer out there that listens to us, all know that sense of getting into a game and then never completing it, falling off it somehow.
Forgetting that you even had it.
Yeah.
You're like,
and moving on, and you're like, oh man, I really wanted to finish that. So we thought it'd be fun to kind of go back through our list and see which games we've done this with as well.
Yeah.
And kind of like talk about maybe if we can remember what distracted us, or maybe why we just like slowly lost interest and so forth. And, talk about just, the video game.
Yeah. So we made like a little list of, why don't you kick us off then?
Okay.
What?
I thought you were going to kick us off.
Well, no, you said set it up, and you go, whoo.
Well, I was bouncing off of you.
Okay, well, I can go first.
Yeah, go.
Jeez. I put as my number one Ghost of Tsushima, because I really loved that game.
I still haven't even started it.
That blows my mind.
I know. Well, so when I was looking through my PlayStation 4 list, I don't think it's on the PlayStation Network anymore, but I had like gotten it, but just I didn't buy it. Like I got it through the PlayStation Network, PlayStation Plus, but I don't know what was happening at that time, but maybe I just wasn't in like a video game mode.
Maybe because it's dense. I mean, I would say it's a solid like bust through. It's a solid general 40-hour kind of thing.
Did Sekiro come out around the same time as that?
Well, Ghost of Tsushima came out in 2020. Do you know when Sekiro came out?
I do, because it's on my list.
Okay. When did Sekiro come out?
Sekiro, March 2019.
Oh, so that was first. And this came out July 17th.
So yeah, there's enough space between. I was playing Sekiro then again. What was it about ghosts?
It's so weird. I got to the very last fight, and I didn't like how it was inevitably going to end.
Oh, really?
Like story-wise. And I'm not gonna spoil it because that it's.
I mean, because I personally don't want to just spoil it.
No, yeah, but also it's just coming out on PC soon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or I'm not exactly. It's about to happen, so that means there's a whole new.
I think they're about to re-release it for the PlayStation 5 too.
Yeah, so there's a whole new audience out there. So I'm not gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
But the story, the way it was ending, I was just like, I don't like this. And I really fucked myself over because the way the system mechanics work is that you have stances, and certain stances work better for certain opponents, and the way they do it where you can switch it really quick is really cool, and it feels really good. It's a really fun fighting style. But then you have it switches over to these big set piece duels that you do, and the mechanics kind of change a little bit. So I'm basically in one of those and have no fucking recollection of how to fight this. So I was
The
like,
game mechanics are just lost on you.
completely. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm sitting there. I was like,
I hate that so much.
I was like, can there? There's that joke about like having the I'm over 30 button, and like you press that and it plays a video for you of just
Oh,
like
yeah.
a recap, like a re-tutorial real quick, like a 10-minute like you do this and this how you do that. Okay, cool. You good? You all caught up? Cut the cobwebs out? All right, go. You know.
It's like can I just can I play the tutorial again, please?
Well, it's like I got so I remember very distinctly that one is up there because I really love the game. Like even when you're riding your horse and you're going through like a field of flowers, he'll reach down and like he'll play with the flowers in between his fingers.
Oh yeah,
like little details
I've
that.
I've seen clips of that. Yeah,
I just really thought that game was beautiful and really fun and really interesting. But I got to the end and I just went, I don't like it, and then I fucked myself. So.
That's very similar with me right now with Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, is that your?
I mean, that's one of them. I mean, because like I pretty much did everything but beat Ganon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I haven't beaten Ganon yet.
Tears of the Kingdom is the second one.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
No, I beat Breath of the Wild. But yeah, this is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I remember what happened was like I was playing it, and what I really wanted to do is kind of like level up a lot of my armor that I like, but it's like a lot of farming, and farming in this game is not the easiest thing to do because you gotta like capture butterflies that or only at sunrise at this one spot.
Yeah.
And it just like I was sitting there, I was like, God, I mean, all I have to do is just go fight Ganon. I don't have to be any more stronger. I'm sure I could just fight him and win. But also, it like Tears. It's even though it's like a simple game like fighting mechanic, there's like a lot of like very not intricate, but specific movements with Zelda that I have to go back. I would have to spend like 3 hours just fighting hard like enemies to remember like, oh yeah, that's how I do that. Oh yeah, that's how I do that. Oh yeah, that's how I do that.
Yeah.
Or even like remembering like all of the different gadgets and what they each do.
Well, it's like with that series too, the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom franchise, that specific one. It is what you were talking about with the farming and everything. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of.
There's 1,000 Korok seeds to find.
It's a lot of video game and it's really impressive.
Yeah,
but it's the same kind of way as like Red Dead Redemption. How that is, it's a very big undertaking. One, just to start it, but the idea once you've kind of had a taste of it to go back to.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because
I found every single shrine and every single route. So like, that's also it's like I found everything that I wanted. And, well, I mean, I guess I still have like the, I forget what they're called, Gamoras, the fucking 3-headed dragons.
I've seen them and never fought them. As you know, those are 2 games I fell off really hard.
Yeah.
Still don't get why.
I figured out how to. I mean, once you know how to beat them, they're not super hard. It's just time consuming and a resource expending, like a lot of resources, like because you're using so many like lightning arrows or this or that and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember when that game was coming out, there was people were getting pretty creative with.
Oh yeah,
how to kill it. That was what was cool about that game.
The physics engine of that game is so fucking bonkers.
Just people coming together and creating these things was so cool. I was really into it for a minute there. I say a minute, but probably like a good 2 months.
That was a minute, yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it just overwhelmed me.
It can be very overwhelming, yeah.
And I think as you go on in the story too, you start learning about all the things you can unlock, and it's just your list just keeps getting longer and longer, but you're not really making a dent in it.
Yeah, exactly. You're like,
I don't want to.
I want it, but I don't want it. I want it, but I want it. Yeah. Was Zelda on your list at all?
I have the temporary list here just for reference.
Oh, okay.
Because I have organized, and it was on here, but I was just kind of like, because I don't know the likelihood of me going back to those are.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tears of the Kingdom is way higher than Breath of the Wild because of that building mechanic.
That makes, and what's interesting in general just about Tears of the Kingdom is that it's like It's like Breath of the Wild was the blueprint for a better game. And Breath of the Wild was game of the year.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely crazy that they were able to take a game that was already damn near perfect and make it better. It's because it's the same map, just like changed a little bit. And yeah, it's so crazy. Like, good job, Nintendo. Good job.
I got into the depths. I don't know what that was. Was that what it was called?
Yeah, the depths.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff down there. That's where I was at story-wise, I guess.
I mean, that's
pretty early on from what I remember.
it can be early on, but you keep going back and forth.
Yeah. I just really like jumping down the hole.
Fair.
That's really fun. Well, and yeah, that's another thing. They had flying mechanics, and I'm such a sucker for that shit.
Yeah.
I love flying mechanics.
What else you got? Where you at?
Another one I put down is Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. Is this game?
You've told me about this.
Yeah, that I will never ever delete. And I don't know what. I really want to like it.
Do you? Okay, so
for those that don't know, Ancestors: A Humankind Odyssey, I feel like is a little bit of a weird one. It is a. Do you remember that game Evo?
Yeah,
on the Super Nintendo.
I mean, I never played it, but I know you really, really liked it.
Yeah,
it's an Enix game, same developer as Dragon Quest.
But it's like Evo is an evolution sim.
Yeah,
but you start off as a fish.
Well, it's like an RPG too.
Yeah, an RPG. You start off as a fish and you evolve, and your goal is to become a mammal living on land. And you go through the centuries, yada yada. Similar kind of concept with Ancestors, except you are apes. You start off as apes, and I don't know how far into the evolutionary chain it goes.
Oh, I vaguely remember seeing like clips of this game.
Yeah, and it was really cool because what you're doing is that you're trying to pass along your traits via mating, basically, with these. It's weird to say it out loud. Right? Fair. But it was really cool because
are there
like,
sex scenes?
No, they
sexy ape.
No, they go off and the curtain drops kind of thing, and like it was cool though because even like phobias would be unlocked.
Oh wow, okay.
So like you would learn that a snake is actually, which but they don't, is a threat. And it was just kind of a really cool game, but I can never get past the first like stage of evolution. And I don't know what it is about it, but there's something about the game I really, really like, and I have not played it a lot. And I think one day I just got to really sit there and like kind of
commit to it.
Fucking do it.
It sounds like a game we got to commit to.
Yeah, and
like a Civilization type thing,
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but and then you got to take your little babies. You got to take them out with you on excursions to find resources and stuff, so they learn other traits and. The idea, and that's kind of what's more interesting to me is I'm curious what the end goal is because I've never made it past the first like 2 generations.
God, it's so interesting how different you and I play games.
What do you mean? Like the games we play,
and even just like the way that we play, like because I'll if I'm not grabbed by a game in the first like through like maybe tutorial or what have you, I don't really ever want to play it again. I was like, I'm not bored. I'm not going to play that. And then because like what I want to do is I want to get grabbed and then I want to marathon this game.
Oh yeah.
And not stop playing it. Like you'll sit down on like your days off and you'll play like 3 or 4 or 5 different games throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like, and in that time I played all of Sandland.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also jump around from console to console. I'm like, okay, all right, time to check out the Switch. What's on here again? And then I do that. Yeah. That's true. I never thought about that. I will.
Yeah.
You'll play 1 game for the 5 hours. I'll play 5 games for the 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't get shit done, I guess.
Why, you have a huge backlog?
Yeah, it's really a lot. But yeah, Ancestors is cool. That came out 2019. What I think, yeah. I'm like, it's one of those games I pop in every year, once a year.
I mean, it's like
try again.
It's interesting. I'm trying to think of like similar, like from like that for me. And one that I could probably do is Armored Core. I fell off really hard with.
Yeah, and you seemed like you were going to be really into that.
I was.
I had to make it past the
And then
tutorial.
Baldur's Gate came out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's also a thing that we do too. I've noted that is something we have in common.
That's why we'll fall off.
We have something that we have the stand-in for the thing that we're like looking for.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you're looking for to right now?
Yes, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that Monkey King one.
Oh yeah,
looks really cool. That comes out in August
this year.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can't really. One that I mean, so yeah, Armored Core I was really looking forward to, and I was really into it, and I really wanted you to get into it because I wanted us to like fight with mechs.
I couldn't get past the trailer.
The tutorial?
Tutorial.
Yeah, no, that tutorial's also got the steepest learning curve. It's like, oh yeah, I'm killing everything, and then the boss comes in and you die.
It was wild.
And but that's so From Software. This is the same people that developed and have done Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So like, for them to have like a mission based game like this is also like very different from that. Well, I mean, Armored Core was like one of their first things. Like Armored Core goes all the way back to the PlayStation, like PlayStation 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this. Yeah. Okay.
And the story is like really interesting with Armored Core, and it's subtle. It's one of those games where it's so mission based that you don't have to pay attention to the story if you don't want to. You can just like follow the objective and play it as just like a game.
A game. Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that came out in 2020. That came out in August of last year, and I got it when it came out. Super into it, and I remember, like, oh, did you get me the PlayStation 5 just to play Baldur's Gate? I know you just. I mean, it was really nice of you. Also, still thank you very much, but I'm just like trying to remember when that happened. Because Baldur's Gate came out October or September.
No, we got it as a thank you for watching Big. That's what it was.
That's a big fucking thank you.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because Baldur's Gate was, I want to say, one of the first game, if not the first game. No, Armored Core, I think, was the first one that I played on with it. But Baldur's Gate, yeah, I don't know. I'm derailing right now. This sounds like a fucking fun episode right now.
We're talking about video games. Just ones. Well, it's like... Sorry, my hair thing fell.
You're good. I got like 3 games on my list here that I played the beginning of. I guess one of them I don't think I'm ever going to go back to. But like I just played the beginning of, and I kind of just like fell off, and I actually truly do want to go back to at some point. It's Kakarot.
Dragon Ball Z.
And I kind of realized why I'm probably not going to go back to this one.
Why?
There's a couple of reasons. One, it's like I've told you about this before, and I may have brought this up on the podcast, but there's this YouTube abridged series, Dragon Ball Z abridged.
You definitely talked about it on here.
And it's just like the way that they like made their own Dragon Ball Z series. It's just like it's so like follows the storyline to like such a great T, like perfectly almost, with their own humor, that watching Dragon Ball Z as is, or even like playing this storyline of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, is so just not fun. It's just like I'm like, oh, they I don't want to say they ruined it, they spoiled it maybe. I only really like to watch Dragon Ball Z if I'm watching Dragon Ball Z abridged now. So the story with it, it's like it's so much more serious. I'm just like, I don't really, it's not funny. I don't get, there's no humor in it anymore. And also one thing I don't feel like the game was designed very well. I don't think the skill trees are very good.
I can't, honestly, God, I know I have it. I cannot remember much about it, to be honest.
The skill tree, it's like weird, like friend based, and like there's like token based shit in it. But like the main thing,
that sounds familiar.
Reflecting back, is I like a game where the beginning is super linear and then it slowly opens everything up for you. Like Tears of the Kingdom, like the Zelda games, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, they're immediately open world, but there's like it's mission based is super linear. You can just go and explore the fucking world, but it's like more lucrative to like follow these first couple of like missions first.
Yeah.
And then do the open world. With Kakarot,
which is very RPG.
Yeah. With Kakarot, I didn't feel that. It was just like all of a sudden, boom, here's the world. Like, what the fuck? Maybe go over to this spot if you want. And as you're going to this like main objective, other shit's distract. It was just like too massive, too quick, too many shiny things distracting. And I didn't really. I'd say it was a game that I really, really, really wanted to play because I love Dragon Ball Z, and it just really disappointed me.
I think it's I remember now, like as we're talking about it was the Skywalker thing. I was so over this storyline that we grew up with. We've rehashed it.
Yeah.
That's why Xenoverse was fun.
Yeah. You really like Xenoverse, yeah.
Because there's the time travel aspect.
Yeah.
So different wild, like suddenly Frieza would be there and then Cell would show up and you're like, what the fuck? And it was really wacky and it knew what it was.
Yeah. See, I should actually go and play that.
And you make your own character. You can make a Namekian, a Saiyan, a human, or a Boo. And
yeah.
You can
make a Boo?
You can make a Boo,
yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously I went with Saiyan because I wanted all the different, transformations.
No. Oh, I wonder if they added the Namekian transformation.
Super Namekian?
Yeah.
I think you can, yeah.
Hell yeah, you go big and orange.
Oh, I don't know about... Oh, that's
right. That's new. That's like within the last couple of years. Dragon Ball superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh,
Piccolo goes Super Namekian and he gets like orange and like his fit is like I'll show you some pictures of it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna throw in Xenoverse and see what updates.
Hell yeah. And also Dragon Ball the superhero, that the newest movie, Piccolo's like the main character, which is really cool, and Gohan's like another. Like Goku and Vegeta are nowhere to be found like in this story very much.
Oh.
So it's actually it's a really fun one to watch, and it pulls back into like the Cell Saga too, and the Red Ribbon Army.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so out of touch with this franchise. It's kind of mind blowing.
I'm such an Akira Toriyama nerd, man. But then really quick, the other two that I was thinking about is like Miles Morales. I
don't get it, dude. It's like a 15-hour, if that. It's a fucking DLC.
I don't know. Like, I know once I start playing them again, I'm gonna get really into them. But it's just there's something about like the mechanic of the Spider-Man games just now feel just very repetitive.
Like the
swinging and then you go and
you mean like the
clock
best part?
tower and then, it feels it's like that.
Well, you can't play the second one until you finish Miles.
I know exactly. That's another thing. Is like I can't get to the number 2 until I
mean, you could, but I feel like you'd be missing out on a good story.
I could just watch a story recap of Miles Morales.
It's different though.
Yeah.
It's different to play as him,
Yeah.
Get to know him.
I mean, because I think in Miles,
and it takes place during the winter in New York, so it looks cool.
The second one?
No, the DLC.
Oh, Miles?
It's during Christmas time.
Miles wasn't a DLC.
No, but it's the size.
Yeah, it's the size of a DLC.
It's not very, yeah. But the Miles one is during
I didn't know
winter, so you're swinging around during the snowy.
That's cool. That's
cool.
I mean, what happened was I did the tutorial, and I think there was just another game that I was more interested in, and
I just turned it down to easy because I was stuck on the Prowler fight.
I mean, regardless of like the difficulty of it, like it wasn't hard. Those games have never been hard for me.
Well, no, but I just mean I had to blow through it. I just did it for the story. I didn't do any of the side shit. I was like,
fair.
I want to get geared up for the second one.
It's so hard for me to not do side shit.
Oh,
hard.
I can turn off that part of my brain so easy.
It's like I have this weird complete. Another thing that you and I have a completionist mindset.
But Spider-Man 2, they had the glide suit. And it feels okay, you're talking about the swinging and stuff. The fact that they added the swinging and the you can do some wild shit transversing in that game.
I remember seeing trailers or like Wolverine I'm excited for. Sorry. Logan, Wolverine.
Oh, from
the new Insomniac,
Yeah, Insomniac. Well, and like that's one of the few games that Spider-Man 2, you do not want to fast travel in. It's just too much fun to fucking from point. It's like you just want to keep doing that. And a lot of times games will say that, but this one actually is true.
And there's other games where you want to fast travel and they sometimes fucking won't let you.
And
Red Dead Redemption.
And that's why I fell off Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
No, I put it on the other day. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I was really enjoying this. Cool. And then I realized, oh, yeah, you can't fast travel, really. Shit, I'm in a really terrible spot. I stopped in a terrible spot, and now I don't want to do it because I can't. Oh, man. So, let's see. I might just have to spend not the real money, but the money I've been saving.
The in-game currency.
And just fucking...
Just do it once to like get somewhere.
Yeah, get back to like a good, even keel.
This is an old one. The Last Guardian from December 2016.
Oh, that Shadow of Colossus?
Team Ico, yeah.
Yeah, Team Ico, yeah.
My brother bought it for me for my birthday.
I forgot about that game.
And I remember I was super excited for it. But then I was like playing it. My roommate at the time came home and just started talking shit about the game. You're like, this isn't a fucking game. Real game is like Halo or Call of Duty.
Oh, he's a shoot 'em up kind of guy.
And I was just like, dude, like, no, like it's a game.
Did he ever play Shadow of Colossus?
No, because he wasn't that type of person. You know, and he's just like, sitting there just like knocking. And I was like, I'm sitting there, now I don't like, if you're just going to talk shit about this game every time you're walking into the living room, I don't want to fucking play it.
Is this who I think it is?
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be my current roommate. My current roommate would be like, dude, this looks so cool.
I just remembered I have the Shadow of Colossus remastered PS4 and it's still in plastic.
Whoa, all right. And you've played it before?
I played it, the original, when it first came out. What, PS2?
2,
yeah.
Yeah.
Played it on the PS2.
Yeah. Still probably one of the best PS2 games of all time.
That's a good game.
I might actually make if I was to make a tier list, that might be my number one for PS2.
Oh, I can't. Legacy of Kain. I loved that game. Legacy of Kain 2. Like it's amazing. It's like there's some things that you just, God, I want a remaster of so bad, and it will never happen.
Never happen. Yeah.
The Legacy of Kain series, I don't think will ever get touched. It's something it was like just sitting there making my list. One that I had forgotten about that I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. Returnal. You've
brought this up to me a couple of times, and it's never just. Never stuck in my head.
As I'm getting older, I realized I like roguelikes a lot, and I never did.
Okay.
And they're really starting. There's something about I'm particular about them. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember exactly why I fell off Returnal, but I remember having a lot of fun with it. And I've just, been playing a lot of... I've been accidentally stumbling upon roguelites, not knowing what they are. Just, like you said, my rotation of, oh, sure, I'll try this. And I've been noticing I really like roguelites.
Well, it's interesting about roguelike. I really can't sit there and marathon a roguelike.
And I think I can because of the ADD part of my brain. Because it's like Cult of the Lamb. Dave the Diver, like these. I'm like, I like that.
Since it's constantly changing, it's keeping you constantly interested.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I wanted to stay linear and keep me interested in
Yeah. Like I'm starting to realize in Returnal was that, crash land on an alien planet. Every time you die, it resets and you have to and it has this look of, actually, who did that?
Yeah, who was that developer?
House Marquet. And the publisher was Sony. I don't know.
Huh.
But it has this feeling of it feels like a Remedy game, but it's not.
What do you mean a Remedy?
Like Control or Alan Wake.
Okay.
It has that feel like it's in that universe, but in the future.
Is it third person?
Third person,
well?
yeah. Okay. There's monsters.
That's really interesting. I've never really I've only ever played roguelikes when they're kind of more platformy.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I remember because I was really into it for a very hot, brief moment.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't remember what made me go off. And I think that was the beginning of me being like, I think I need to start off with some more platformy ones.
Yeah, like Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah,
dude, if you want to go to not the OG, but one of the platform bests. Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy?
Yeah. And it's like you're this little munchkin looking character. That's like it. That in every you have the sword, whatnot, and it's like all medieval style. So it's like it's almost like Castlevania ish.
Okay.
Or like Ghosts and Goblins, and you're unlocking the map as you go, and you're trying to get to each. There's like 4 bosses in like to beat like the entire fucking game, and you do kind of like level up as you go through it. But when you die, your next character when you respawn keeps kind of like that experience, but then they pick up a trait from like your previous one.
Okay.
And then you go and you start over again, but each room, it always starts differently. And as you get stronger, you find that, and as you get farther into the levels, the monsters get stronger and you get more experience. So it gets to this point where you're kind of like memorizing patterns of certain enemies, and then you'll get to a new spot, and then it's that enemy, but stronger. And then you have to like, and maybe a new ability, and whatnot. And then it's slowly just like you slowly start to learn like, okay, up here is like the vine area, over here is like this area, over here is like this area.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I think it was originally on the PlayStation 3, but I'm pretty sure you can get on the PlayStation 4.
Okay,
and it's one of those games they'll probably eventually like. Well, I mean, actually, if it's PlayStation 4, you can probably still get on the PlayStation 5. Oh, but you like to play these games on the Switch, don't you? Platforms like
no,
that?
not anymore.
Oh, it switched! Yay!
Well, no, because I had switched from the Switch. No, because I have the Backbone.
Oh, okay. So
I can, yeah. So that's what I did with Dave the Diver. I was playing on the TV, and then if I was kind of like, I still have a couple things I need to finish, but I want to wind down, just threw it on there.
Nice.
And remote played, and then finished it up, and then turned it off.
I've heard the remote play actually works better on your phone than it does between consoles.
It's totally. I mean, it's fine for what I'm using it for. I did try once with Helldivers, and that was a huge mistake.
Did
and
you do that on the Backbone?
The Helldivers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huge mistake.
Yeah, okay.
I was just curious. And I was correct. I didn't think it was a good idea, and I just wanted confirmation, and it wasn't a good idea. But like something like Dave the Diver or Ori and the Will of the Wisp and stuff like that, it's still fast-paced, but it's like the lag isn't so bad that you're going to piss off your teammates. You might piss off yourself.
Yeah.
But it's the teammates that will suffer, But I think also like with the, like Loop Hero definitely helped me with the repetitive nature. Because Loop Hero is really great casual gaming kind of thing.
Oh, I saw a trailer. There's a new game coming out from that video game company that did Journey, and it looks like they always fucking create awesome shit.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll be able to hit that same chord they did with Journey.
It looks like it's 2-player type thing. So like they've been developing like a co-op.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you've never played Journey, play it.
It's one of the best video games of all time.
It really is. It's not even a video. It's an experience.
Yeah.
It really is. And I mean, I'm curious now that we're older and we know if it would. I mean, obviously it's not going to hit the same, but to go back and play it because we were in our 20s. Didn't know, I don't know. That was kind of and how you guys set it up for me to play it was kind of cool.
Well, it's one of those things. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, and when you find out, it's kind of like, oh
no, that's mind blowing.
Yeah,
it's not a video game as you're.
It's one of those things where it's like you can never go back and have that experience again.
No, that is definitely one and done.
It's like when you find out that Darth Vader is Luke's father.
What?
It's or finding out that Snape has been actually protecting Harry the entire time.
Yeah.
It's you can never go back. Like it changes everything.
Cool. Do you know what it's called?
I can't remember. No. You said Loop Hero, which I don't know why made me think of Journey. They're very different games. But and then I was like, oh yeah, you just got my mind kind of like racing, like because you're like, do you have any games you're excited about coming out? And I'm like, I don't know. And so now it's just like there. What about you? Is there any video games coming out that you're excited for?
No, I mean, I had this list up and I was just curious. One of them does say Terminator Survivors, which sounds
Horrible.
why?
I don't know. It's Terminator.
So
It's gonna be like Predator. In Welcome to the Jungle. Probably. Just reskin it.
yeah, I did put that on the other day, and it's still going.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Well, it says Terminator Survivor sounds a lot like State of Decay through
okay.
the Terminator universe. So it's going to be like a survival scavenging game post Skynet taking over. Like, that sounds cool. I'm not going to believe it.
It sounds cool in theory, but it's probably going to be poorly executed.
Anything I'm excited for? I'm really excited for the new Indiana Jones game.
I forgot that was happening.
I am very excited for that. It sounds weird.
I still need to see the last 2 Indiana Jones movies.
Because it sounds like it's... I don't know. It sounds almost like Far Cry-y.
Interesting.
Not
going to be Uncharted-y?
No. Well, because it's the guys that did... It's the company that did Wolfenstein.
Oh, interesting.
So, which is cool, but it's like... They're so gun heavy that I'm like, is Indiana Jones going to be really gun heavy? Because he's not really gun heavy. It is very Uncharted, kind of. I mean, I guess the last Uncharted went really gun heavy, but it's a lot of climbing and whoosh and woo across the chasm and yeah. So it's like I'm not excited for it in the sense of I'm gonna play the shit out of that. I'm excited to see what it is. I guess more so, you know, like how are they gonna mechanically put this together?
And then it's like Elden Ring.
Yeah. But yeah, that's probably the one I'm most curious, I would say, about.
I still need to play Jedi Survivor. I got a back. It's like I should have done a backlog of games that have started. It should be a backlog of games that I just need to play.
Yeah, like, and they're big ones. Oh, and apparently Little Nightmares 3 is coming out.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I really like that series.
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to play Unravel 2.
I thought you did.
No, I played the first one.
Yeah, no, but
I downloaded the second one, but I didn't play it yet. The last game, wow, I'm actually surprised I got through most of this. I thought we were going to talk more about each game individually. And this is another one kind of like Miles. I need to get through this game to play the next one. Horizon Zero Dawn. It came out, which I was surprised that came out February 2017.
I am wildly uninterested, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, because these games are like...
Did you play the first one?
I got, like, I want to say a quarter of the way through the first one.
You need to beat the first one first.
Huh?
You need to play the first one.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to play these games to get to... Yeah. But I didn't realize that it came out in 2017.
Well, the second one?
No, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Forbidden West is the second one.
Okay, sure.
Get your fucking video game shit, man.
Remember I said I wasn't interested? I don't know why I'm not interested. I played it.
Is it because Alloy is ugly?
Oh.
The fucking internet. Have you seen that bullshit?
No.
Fucking people talking about... It's just fucking neckbeards being all weird about their female protagonists. Why do they gotta make them look so manly and ugly? It's like... What just...
No, I really liked especially the fighting mechanics with the bow and arrow was sick. Like, it felt great. Like, it was really cool. Like, it just felt very fluid and very powerful.
Well, and also just like I really liked the different weapons having different like ability, like different utilizations.
Yeah.
For depending on what like you're fighting.
Yeah, I just didn't care for the robot dinosaur thing. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I it's one of those games. If you haven't played, it's one of those games you kind of find the lore as you go.
Yeah.
About what happened to
and the lore is cool as hell.
It didn't interest me.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really because I was even talking to a mutual friend of ours. When when Forbidden West came out, and same kind of conversation, and they were like, they were really blown away that me said that, and I was like, I know, there's just something about it that's not clicking, and they were like, well, it's robot dinosaurs that you kill with a bow and arrow. And I was like, I know. On paper, it sounds fucking rad, but it doesn't interest me. I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't.
I mean, how much of the lore did you finish? You didn't even finish the first one.
I got like halfway.
So you were like uncovering like...
Yeah. I was uncovering, and I got like halfway through it, and I was like, I just don't care about any of this. And that was like the mechanic, like mechanically it's cool, but it's not enough to keep me drawn in because I don't care about the story at all.
That was another game that I got sidetracked with because there's also a lot of side stuff in that game.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
And it's one of those games where to really get like the full lore, you want to do a lot of the side missions.
Yeah.
Not like the fetch missions or shit like that, but like you have your main objective, but then you have like this like, well, you got to go help this tribe up here.
Yeah.
And if you help that tribe, you learn about that tribe and you learn more about the lore. You get some cool shit, but like, yeah. It's like that's one of those games you want to like kind of complete to really understand everything.
Yeah, and that's why I guess my thing was just like I didn't want to do any of that, but I do give it a lot of credit in its transversing just moving around in that game, not just whether it be fighting or just point A to point B was really good. They did a really great job on the fluidity of that.
Yeah.
You know, because so many games come out that they are these like even like I don't know like jump way back like Witcher 3. Great game, great writing. That game is fucking clunky.
Well, you also only played it on the PlayStation. The game is like built for PC. Do you think it would be different if you were on PC? Really? Okay.
No, because I just think they just didn't really have it. It's because it didn't feel like it was the specs on what I was playing as. It just felt like how the game was made. You know, and I even mean the movement. Even Geralt runs like.
I mean, it is pretty old. So I mean, it's like 2015.
Yeah, it's the last one, Witcher 3. Yeah, I think it's 2015.
Oh yeah. What's actually really funny is I found out.
I mean, that is almost 10 years ago. So.
I was looking when I was going through my PlayStation 4 like backlog. I got it. I have it on my PlayStation.
What
Witcher?
3?
Yeah. It was on It's still on PlayStation Plus, and I just never played it.
I really want to get it for the Switch. I don't know why I want to.
Just so you can play it on the go.
Yeah, because I always got my Switch with me. You know what I mean? I always buy things for the Switch like, oh, this would be good if I'm sitting on the bus. And I'm like,
when are you sitting on the bus?
When you're sitting on the bus, bud. And even then, if I do take the bus or something, it's like a 20-minute thing. So it's not even...
You're going to be on your phone reading an article probably.
Yeah, BuzzFeed, clickbait.
Yep.
What are we at?
You're at like 52.
Oh, okay. The last two real quick, because they're kind of similar, is that I put on my list was Alan Wake 2. I fell off really hard, and I really want to get into it, but that fucking game is slow as shit.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's so slow, and I need to change something about my personality when it comes to this particularly. I need to stop stopping in really inopportune spots in video games, then turn it off for 6 months, and then go, what's going on? What are we doing?
And what's that Gandalf meme? When you turn on a game that you haven't played in a few months, and it's like, I have no memory of this place.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And it's like, especially with something like fucking Alan Wake, where it is so you're looking for the fucking Post-it note with the 3 numbers on it to unlock this other thing on the other side of the map. Really not great to stop in the middle of it. And what's making it worse is the sun's going down, so I know that we're right in front of some kind of a scary encounter. I've been playing these games too long to not know.
Which is that you hate.
Alan Wake so far hasn't gotten me. I mean, I've only had the 2. There's only so far I've had 2 encounters, and they're creepy, but it hasn't really. But from what your friend told you, I know it's gonna crank up really quick.
It's so funny. If we ever do a stream of this, when Tommy and I are playing horror video games, it gets to a point where Tommy just hands me the controller because it's like, Big Brother, do it for me, please, because it's just too intense.
But the weird thing about that, though, it's not with sci-fi. It's only with like ghost stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember like Dead Space and shit. Castillo Protocol, the Dead Space.
Yeah. I never played them all the way through.
Yeah, for some reason I don't know what it is. Maybe it's growing up on Alien and shit. But like
that stuff doesn't really
sci-fi doesn't really get me.
What if it's like Outlast, where it's like cannibalistic monsters?
Yeah, or like some kind of ghost or something, or demon. I'm like, fuck
Silent Hill flower craziness.
Yeah, like Village I was okay.
Yeah, well, I feel like
Village I was okay.
The Resident Evil games I don't feel like are as scary as they used to be.
No. I mean, Biohazard was pretty good.
But
that was the cannibal fucking family Hills Have Eyes shit.
Yeah.
That fucked with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to like big alien monsters and stuff, like, I mean, Alien Isolation got me but that's
It's meant to.
Yeah, it's hide and seek.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get your heart going. Like the fact that they turn on your fucking microphone and the alien can hear you, that's fucked up, okay? Like, that's not normal.
It sounds very normal to me.
But yeah, Alan Wake 2 is something I was really excited for because I liked the first one on 360. And I was like, oh, this is kind of what I want them more to do, is to wait such a great amount of time.
That's also, it's interesting. Oh, sorry, you finish your thought.
No, just that. It's just cool that, like, from 360 now to the PS5.
Yeah.
It's like that's a lot of time, and then they had Control in between, which was not sequel. It took place in the same universe.
Spiritual successor.
Yeah, you know.
That game was hard. I couldn't.
Control?
Yeah.
God, that was a good game.
I couldn't get past like that first boss, if I remember.
It is hard. You're right, but it was really cool. It was such a weird.
That was the game
world.
I played, and I fell off really hard because I was like, I didn't find it fun. Like if it's too difficult, then it's like, why is this a game? Like, or fucking boring, Death Stranding. Let's just be a fucking mailman. Like, God.
That still has a soft spot in my heart.
It's like I wanted that game made me not pre-order shit.
Mine was Vampire.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we all have one that you're like, you put a lot of eggs in that basket, and they took the basket, they went, whatcha. Wow.
You had everything I wanted. Hideo Kojima, Yo Del Toro.
I love that.
Norman Reedus.
I love that there's games out there like Death Stranding that are so polarized, like that are just fucking hated by people or loved, and there's not really a middle ground.
The story seems so fucking cool.
It's a cool game. It's just not your thing.
Gameplay is boring as hell.
I like the gameplay more than I like the story.
You like being bored?
I thought it was pretty.
It is pretty. It's gorgeous.
That's a fun world to explore. What bugged me was when those stupid fucking monsters.
That's the fun part of the game.
That's not the fun part of the game. Fucking giant liquid sperm whale thing comes and tries to eat you. Like, no, I was like, I don't like this part.
That is a conflict. I want to have conflict.
You're like, oh, it's raining. Fuck, it's raining. You know, I that's one of those things. I'm this weird like devil's advocate, I guess, in the middle here.
Well, there is like an immersiveness to it that just didn't grab me. That grabbed you.
Yeah, like I was like, I do not love that game. I've tried now, I think 3 times. The initial time and then 2 more times after that. Mm-hmm. And by the 3rd time, I was just like, this just isn't my thing. I appreciate it for what it is, but this isn't. I'm not going to sit here and.
I think I got to where there was. I think you get a bike, right? At some point.
Yeah, you can get a bike.
Yeah,
and
I
make
think
roads and
got
stuff.
to that, and I was just like, this is like.
Well, I do feel like once you get to that point where you're actually making roads and stuff, the problem you had would be less because you'd have to make that road to get there, but then you have the road. So, and that's a part you didn't get to and didn't particularly want to.
I got tired of running that fucking backpack and stacking up.
That was fun.
Stacking up all the boxes and like, I'm just fucking USPS in Ghost Town. Just fucking.
Such a weird game.
It is.
And the sequel's coming out.
Yeah, I saw there was a sequel, and I was
You're like, why?
Who the fuck wants that?
There's. I think that also just the one that had one more, and it wasn't a game, but it was just. I really want to be able to play like survival crafting games more, but
like Minecraft type stuff.
Yeah, well, like
or The Forest.
Yeah, stuff like that. But it's just the amount of time that you have to take to do that, and it's just. I don't know. And then you also need friends. It's like, I'm still really want to play Sea of Thieves, but I mean, now it's on PlayStation.
Now it's on PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, but I had to buy it on PlayStation, and I already
Is it not cross-platform?
I don't know. I never did actually look into it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it cross-platform.
That would be weird to not.
Yeah.
For being a Game Pass exclusive for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not. But it's like, since we started this podcast, I've been like, who wants to play Sea of Thieves? Looking for a crew, me matey. You know, like. For years, I've been looking for a solid group to play that with.
My coworker plays it all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Maybe I should. I'll see if I can set up a Sea of Thieves like
date. That's so weird. Okay. Anything else you wanted to?
I was actually when you're talking about you getting stuck in spots. It's also another thing I think I've noticed about your style of gameplay is when you get to a spot that kind of like is kind of like you don't like to bang your head against the wall
No.
until you get through. Where I'm like, I'm gonna fucking figure this out.
That's what I don't like from software.
Yeah,
I don't like that. It's not what I don't find that pleasurable.
it's so fun for me.
I don't find that fun.
It's like this is the challenge, and I will fucking overcome.
Yeah, no. I like it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't. Well, it's kind of what you just said about.
So then that's also why
control.
you'll get to a spot in a game, and you're like, I'll just get back to it.
Yeah.
And then you get back to it, and you're like, what the fuck was this?
I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah, because I put on Alan Wake the other a month ago or whatever, and I just kind of was like, no recollection of what I was doing. And then I was like, oh, I'll go through the UI. I don't remember how to work the UI and where to go to find what I was doing.
I hate that so much, yeah.
So
The big thing is just like...
I might have to watch a YouTube walkthrough of that part.
Oh, fair.
Up to that part to be like, okay, and then be like, okay, and then the 5 minutes after to be like, okay, just get me on the right trajectory of where we're supposed to be going. And then I'll take it from there. I think that's, I mean, we were talking about that tutorial thing. That's probably an answer from YouTube.
Yeah.
How to fight in duels
How to
and
play
Ghost,
video game.
how to fight people in Ghost of Tsushima.
How be good game.
Get good.
Get
good.
Get good game.
Get good.
Get good at game.
Um,
YouTube, be good. And there's some fucking dude. I don't know. I had a joke and I couldn't formulate the words for it.
so you had shit.
I know. I was trying to think of like that fucking Andrew. There's like some Andrew Tate guy trying to blue pill you about with video games. Like, so you don't listen to the women about the video game.
Oh, Coach Kyle.
Yeah.
Coach Kyle says,
What is it? Women are secondary citizens. Coach Kyle.
the women are objects.
Yeah.
Coach Kyle.
We do not condone this message, actually. It's all for a joke. It's a bit. It's a bit. It's a joke.
It's a bit by a comedian in his podcast with his friends.
I don't really. I think I went. Actually, yeah. Like I said, I'm surprised I actually kind of went through the list.
There's just a lot of backlog. It's more the finding the. If you have any tips out there for how to reignite the spark.
I mean, sometimes it's just like you just gotta get back into it, and
Well,
like,
it's just something I've noticed about being a human too, is that very much, whether you realize it or not, emotionally and situationally, things are affecting you.
yes, of course, yeah.
So I kind of learned that from jumping back a little bit to Witcher 3. Everything on paper about that is my thing. Monster hunting, political, like drama, like,
It's got like a Skyrim feel to it as well.
Sex and fantasy and magic, and it's all very much my thing. And it took me like 3 times to get into it. And I remember sitting there being like, I don't understand. Like, I do not understand what is not clicking with me.
Yeah.
And would try, and then finally the 3rd or 4th time it was like, okay, there it is. And it was just whatever was going on in my life, that wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So whenever you say, oh, I didn't like that, it's safe to jump in at least a couple more times.
Yeah.
If you're curious, if you're like that, if you're not like, if you're like, I have no interest, then don't do it. But if you're kind of interested and you're like, this isn't, try every couple years.
You know what's an interesting thing as well is I've been kind of like thinking of like the games that I like to replay versus the games that you like to replay or other people like to replay. It's because I'm not a really big replayer.
I very rarely am as well.
But but the ones that I do replay, it's very much for nostalgia or just like time, like, cause I will replay like Final Fantasy. Like I've played the first Final Fantasy game numerous times. In fact, I mean, well, it's a time passer, but when there's nothing happening at work, I'm playing Final Fantasy 1 on my phone. Or Dragon Quest 4 is another one. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 4. I'm right now replaying Legend of Dragoon, but I've never officially beat Legend of Dragoon. And that's a game that was like PlayStation 1. I've only ever gotten to like to the 3rd disc, and I always fall off. So I'm trying really hard to not do that this time. But like, I don't think I could go back. Like, the thought of going back and replaying Fallout 4, I don't think I can do that. The game's just too big. The thought of going back and replaying Breath of the Wild. That game's so large.
That's really funny because all of the ones that I was thinking, like the ones I have and probably would, like I know that I've played Arkham Knight a couple times.
Yeah, when I don't have no interest going back and replaying those.
And
games.
I think it's the transversing is like the speed at which you can move around the worlds. And Fallout, same thing, is like you can just pick a direction and go.
Yeah.
And like you don't even really need to focus on the main quest at all. Like the far as I got in the main quest on this playthrough is I got out of the vault. I'm looking for my son.
What's interesting, well, sometimes some of that nostalgia, like I'll also restart like a game, like Dragon Quest 4, and then I'll get like maybe a quarter or halfway through it, and I'll be like, it's like, oh, I got my fix, you know?
Yeah, I think and I kind of do feel like I'm getting that way with Fallout 4 now, as I kind of got my fix.
And I feel like that's also like some games, a reason why some games I don't finish, like Tears of the Kingdoms, like I was enjoying it so much, I didn't want it to end. It's like I don't want to finish this game because I want there to be more story. I don't want this to be the end of the story. So then I put this in idea in my mind, like, well, then I'll just, farm for resources or do this and do this. So then I have more gameplay, and then I get bored with that, and then I fall off of it, and then I'm like, well, now I didn't even fucking beat it. It's a vicious cycle being a gamer.
Wow, vicious cycle being a gamer.
What is wrong with me?
We haven't talked about next week, have we?
Maybe. Maybe Blockbusters. We'll figure it out.
But yeah, thank you for sticking around if you made it this far.
Don't know how fun that episode. Yeah.
I had fun.
No, we had fun time talking.
We needed to take a break from the movies for a sec. But yeah, so if you listened, thank you. And hopefully
I feel like this turned into like a psychological evaluation of how we play video games.
Why and why.
You know why I think you play like this?
But yeah, hopefully we got some gears turning and stuff that you might want to go back and revisit. If you thought of any that like really speak to you, let us know.
Let us know maybe games that you like you have backlogged.
Yeah, because it's like, I think it's also like we kind of start off with too. It's fun to be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It is a fun little like back and forth.
And it's also really weird to go onto for me, go onto my PlayStation 4 like game list, and I have like over 300 on there, I've played maybe 50 of them.
Yeah, I don't like calculating. I'm like, because I was very impulse buy there for a minute.
Well, and you were very much impulse buy, but I was very much PlayStation Plus. Just add it to my library.
I started doing that,
so I just have it in case I want to play.
Yeah,
and a handful of games I have started because of that, and just never started. Like, I played enough of it. I don't know. Mad Max, Neo.
Oh yeah, Mad Max was gonna go on the list, but I put it on before I made the list officially, and I was like, never mind. It's like that's another thing too, is you'll go back, you have like these fawn rose tinted glasses about something, and then you're like, ooh, this is rough.
I need to take the beer goggles off.
Yeah, like this is rough now. Like at the time, it was cool.
It's like the lights turned up at the bar. Like, ah!
It's like it was cool at the time.
That's a feral cat.
But now, not so much. I don't know. That's something else. You jump into a game that the last time you played was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
In the middle of something, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like jumping into it's the same thing as jumping into a TV series, I'm
going to start season 5, episode 4 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
you're like, what is happening?
Yeah, you would be very much like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. But yeah, it didn't make it on the list. But yeah, thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. All of our little promos for the episodes coming up are on there, as well as our link tree that will lead you to all the places the podcasts are on, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. Click the link, hit follow, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Helps us out. And join us next week. We will be going back into a movie. Not sure what movie, but it'll be a movie.
It's going to be a movie.
This is Tommy.
Movie. This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mix.
I wanted you to just keep going.
To move. No, they don't want to listen anymore. Let them go bye-bye. Bye-bye. Just fucking end it.